Okay, let's get started. So, good morning to everyone, firstly, and welcome to your next semester. And let's get straight into it. Firstly, well done for making it so far. You should be pretty proud about it, and you're all finished with code clinics. I am going to ask my camera's busted, but I am going to ask if y'all can please try and put your cameras on. That would make it better. I'd like you to try and be as engaged as you can. So if you can put your cameras on, that would be fantastic. Please do that. Let me just change my view. Yeah. Okay. Cameras on, cameras on, cameras on. Please, please, please. Okay, cool. Lovely. Okay, and let's get straight into it. So, firstly, welcome to your new semester. We are going to be diving into object orientation this semester, and I'm just going to run through what you can expect for the semester itself, what you're going to be doing this week, your math modules, your group project, and we're just going to be diving into everything. Okay. Okay. Cool. So this week, you're starting off with your iteration zero, which is your OOP introduction and development setup. So everything is on the curriculum site, and we're just going to ask you to please get everything started. Let me just present quickly. Okay, yeah, you can see I have you on the side. So, yeah, object orientation. What you're going to be started with is this development setup, a brief intro to Java, unit testing with Java, and your first exercise for this week. Okay. So, with your development set, oh, let me just go to getting started. Okay. Okay, so you all learned about what it means to program procedurally. That's what you were doing in Python. And now we're going to be moving to object orientation, which is a different way or coding paradigm of how you can code. Okay. It's worth noting that very few programming languages are purely one paradigm or another. Languages generally mix and match features from different paradigms in order to take advantages and strengths in their complementary fashion. So y'all are moving to OOP. The idea now is by now absorb the concepts basic to any programming during semester one, and it's time to level it up. So that's what y'all are going to be doing. The fundamentals module was mainly about the basic nuts and bolts of the program. The module is about moving beyond thinking about the simple constructs like loops, variables, and branches, and more about the higher level design of software. As such, we'll be introducing you to several design heuristics, a fancy way of saying we recommend you structure your code this way. It's not always possible, but here are some things that you can do. Okay, cool. Software designs, what software does, supermarkets, blanks, airlines, or any other businesses. I think a lot of this y'all can read in your own time, but it is about what is OOP, why you use OOP. So I would recommend that you all please make notes as well to understand what it is about. The reason I say this also is because when it comes to your assessments, that's going to be happening. When it comes to your group projects, you are going to be tested on what OOP is. We'll ask you what is encapsulation. We'll ask for example. We'll give you some code that you need to write. We'd want a well-written definition based on something that you've given here in the curriculum as well. So we want you to please be take notes as much as you can. Okay, cool. Let me just see something quick. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. All right, cool. So that's what you are going to be focusing on this week. It's solo work. So please get your environment set up. Please read into all the tools that you're going to be using as well and understanding the engineering workflow that comes with OOP and your projects. Okay, and then from next week, you're going to dive into iteration one, which focuses purely on encapsulation and what encapsulation is. You're going to be given a list of projects that you need to work through. And yeah, next week, the end of next week as well, I think you're going to be having your first assessment, the 12th of March. It should be in your calendar, but we're also telling you now. So please start preparing. So when you start going through your notes this week, we need you to start studying for the test already. Okay. And focusing on what encapsulation is because you are going to be tested on that. Okay. Encapsulation will focus on fields and state, constructors, access modifiers, protecting invariants, design and responsible objects. It's all something that you are going to be taught and something that you'll understand. Okay. Iteration two kicks off with polymorphism. Okay. Throughout now when you working with Java, you're going to be introduced to encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism. So by the time you get to polymorphism, you would have gone through many of the other concepts already. So yeah, we're just going to ask you to please keep studying as you go. And that's when you'll start with your toy robot project. Sorry. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And then on the 2nd of April, which is about a month from now, you are going to be having your coding exam. It's going to be a summative. It's going to focus on interfaces, abstract classes, method overriding, designing for flexibility. Yeah, just give me 1 second. All right, lovely. Okay. Then, just after your exam, which is the 2nd of April, you're going to be then moving to your group project. Okay. So, before I get into some of the details about the group project, I'm just going to say now that a lot of you got a lot of feedback from the different performance managers about your co-clinics projects. So I'm going to ask for you to please consider the feedback that you got from your performance manager. If it was on unit tests, if it was about your theory, if it was about the UI or UX or the structure of your code, like please consider it and please push it up a level with this group project that you're going to be working. Um, with this group project as well, you are going to be using some workflows on GitLab itself, so it should be easier to integrate your code with each other. Please push code as frequently as possible. Please pull from main as possible as frequently as you can. And I think the one of the most important things is when you get to the group project, this planning iteration week that you get a planning week. Please use it wisely. Please make thorough notes. We would like to see university level projects, and that's what we want. We want detailed notes. We want well written tests. We want neat code, and we want you to aim for 1,000%, please. Okay. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. Really hoping to see really good projects this time around. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so then from there, you're going to have your iteration week or your planning week, which you'll have a week to do your planning for. You're going to have to break down in this planning week iteration one, two, and three, how your team is going to approach it. And we will tell you more information about it when we get there, but we want detailed tickets when you're going to be using the board on GitLab to manage your tickets, and we'd like detail, a lot of detail. We don't want you to just create a ticket that says something like set up Java development setup or environment. We want detail. We want to know what does that task entail? What do you have to do? So that if you pass it over to a new team member, that they know what to do. Okay. Okay, so Robot Worlds iteration one is going to start on the 13th of April. That week, you will also have assessment one, a formative assessment, another assessment. Week second iteration will start the 27th of April. Third iteration will start the 11th of May, and you'll also have another summative assessment then. Let me just see if I have these dates correct. Yes, they are. Okay, and then the week of the 25th of May, you're going to be demoing the project. So when it comes to the demos, I'm going to touch on it again now. A lot of you got a lot of feedback from us. The feedback again can go from the code itself to the way you present, to the way you plan, to the way you communicate with each other. We definitely would like to see university level like projects, good detail, high professionalism between you and your team members. We'd like people to be present on campus, to be doing their work, to be contributing to the project. If you feel like you're struggling with coding itself, touch base with your team members. Like, do your best, keep trying, put in effort. You can see the difference between someone who tries to put in effort compared to someone who doesn't try. Like, there's a big difference. Okay. I see a question. CZ4. Good morning. Please clarify from now on which the assessments that are written will only be Java based assessment. All of it going forward, all your assessments going forward are going to be Java based. Okay. Python's in the past now. We're just going to be focusing on OOP going forward. Okay. So just to give you more notes, the big shift that y'all are going to be experiencing is moving from fundamentals and using your fundamentals to build on object orientation programming. So the coding paradigm is going to shift. Paradigm meaning the style, if you will, of how you write in the code. The projects that you're using before were very script-like projects, very single file projects. A lot of you also tried to attempt doing code clinics in an object-oriented style, which is really good. But now you'll get like a more of a formal introduction to it. But you building on from the fundamentals, you aren't going to be starting Java or OOP from the beginning. It's whatever you've coded before in Python. We're going to build on that, but you're going to be changing the style of how you write the code. Okay. So in fundamentals, you learned to program, you wrote functions, you solved contained problems, you told the computer what to do step by step. That's procedural. Okay. And let's see. This semester is about structure, responsibility, abstraction, collaboration, and changeability. So reusing the code, writing code that's a lot cleaner, um, writing pieces of code that focus on specific responsibilities. Okay, cool. Um, and it's better to work with it like this because in the real world, businesses change, requirements change, technology changes all the time, users change, and you'd want to start writing code that becomes more easier to maintain. And it's not so easy to do that with procedurally written code. Okay. All right. So what this semester really is about is object-oriented programming itself. That's the main focus. So when it comes to your assessments and everything, we can just ask you on the spot, please give a definition for any of these. What's encapsulation? What is composition? Is polymorphism? And we'd want you to give a proper definition. Um, what did I want to say? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Hello, like be telling you, we are going to be testing you on this. So we'd like to see you all pass these questions. Like if we ask you what's encapsulation, we'd expect the answer. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Cool. Okay. Objects are not just data holders, they're responsible agents. Instead of calling functions on data, we send messages to objects. So it's a bit of a difference in Mindshift, but you will get used to it. Okay. Java is the tool that you're going to be using. You're not learning Java, you're learning object orientation programming in Java. Okay. Like the way you coded in Python, you can do in Java, but we're going to use Java in an object oriented style. Okay. So we are not learning OP to learn Java. We are using Java to understand object-oriented design. Okay. You are expected to read Java documentation, explore more with APIs, solve languages, and level problems independently. And then let's go, we'll touch base on the engineering part. We will be using Apache Maven to manage dependencies, compile projects, run tests, package applications. Professional software is built, not just run. Okay. And just to touch on the engineering part of it, programming is creating the system to work. Engineering means making sure that whatever you programmed is sturdy. You engineer it to make sure that it doesn't collapse. You engineer it so that you test it. And I'm saying this now as well because when we come to the group projects, I'm hoping to see a minimum of at least 100 unit tests for all the group projects. Not five, not 10, not 20, a minimum of 100. Okay. So just touching on that. Testing, we will use JUnit. Testing is about checking correctness. It's a design tool. Tests help us with clarity behavior, protect against regression, improve architecture of the project. Okay. And then another note, alongside the OOP module being released, the math module will be released this week as well. It is intentional. It's not extra work. It's not random. It's supposed to support your growth as an engineer. Okay. The maths module is supposed to help with logical reasoning, abstraction, pattern recognition, precision, and structured thinking. OOP teaches you how to structure systems. Math teaches you how to structure thought. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Another note: the front desk team will be replacing the Max this week. So this means be flexible. Please back up your work. Please cooperate with the front desk team. And yeah, so that's that. So, some expectations: you are expected to think deeply, read beyond the slides or notes or curriculum notes, ask better questions, work well in teams, embrace complexity without panic. Half of OOP is learning the terminology, the other half is learning to think in systems. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So, this is just going to be a bit of an identity switch for everyone, and you're moving more into what it means to engineer. By the end of this module, you should not think I can code. You should think I can design software systems. Okay. The semester is about depth, it's about maturity, and it is about moving from coder to engineer. So sweet. I need to know from the performance team. Um, I just need to go through some of the questions. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. So all your assessments are going to be based in Java. We are going to reshuffle the teams. I'm not too sure when, actually. I'll touch base with the team, but we are definitely going to be doing it before you start the group projects. We'll probably try and do it before you start group projects. Maybe we'll shuffle you next week or the week after, but yeah, we're definitely going to be reshuffling you. You'll be expected to move in the next week or two. So, all right. From the performance team, is there anything I've missed? I'm kind of surprised how many of you put on your cameras. I was really hoping you were going to put on your cameras. I'm just going to ask for future kickoffs if y'all can all please try and put on your cameras. Like, we're just picking up a bit of a correlation between people who don't put on their cameras and performance. So, yeah. Right. Okay. I don't think there's anything else. Y'all should be able to access the curriculum. But then from there, I'm just going to wish you all good luck. Please work really hard this semester. It's going to be a bit of a curveball. OP is not, you need to study. You definitely need to study. You need to take some notes. You need to understand the terminology and tools that you're working with. And yeah, have fun with it as well as always. Have fun with it and just enjoy the learning experience. But then I think we can hop off here. And once again, thanks for making it so far into your journey. Keep pushing. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Okay, cheers, cheers. I don't need to share the notes in the that was discussed here because it's all on the curriculum. I just summarized it for myself to share with y'all. All right, cheers, cheers. Okay, bye bye.